My wife Lila is one of the most composed people you'll ever meet. Quiet, kind, and rarely rattled. So when I saw her sitting silently on the porch one Tuesday afternoon, her brow furrowed, a letter clenched in her hand, I knew something was wrong. "They're trying to evict me," she said. I raised an eyebrow. "Who?" She handed me the letter. It was from the Brookwood Estates Homeowners Association. The accusation? Violation of community standards. The punishment? 30-day eviction notice. We both laughed at first. Then we realized they were dead serious. And that was when this ridiculous situation turned into a storm they never saw coming. How it started. Brookwood Estates is a picture-perfect gated community, tree-lined sidewalks, identical pastel houses, and an HOA with too much time on its hands. We moved in 2 years ago, but what the board didn't realize was that Lila wasn't just another homeowner. She was the developer. Yes, Lila personally funded the construction of the entire subdivision through her real estate company. While she kept a low profile and never mentioned her ownership, her company legally retained control of the master deed and land titles. She chose not to interfere with the HOA's formation, hoping the community would govern itself reasonably. Spoiler, it didn't. The complaint. Apparently one of the newer board members, let's call her Karen, because of course, took issue with the fact that Lila sometimes parked her Tesla at an angle in our driveway. Never blocking anyone, never violating posted rules, but just slightly off-center. Karen filed a formal complaint. When Lila missed the mandatory appearance at the HOA meeting, we were on vacation, Karen rallied the board and pushed for an enforcement action. Without verifying facts and assuming Lila was just another passive resident, they sent the eviction notice. It was packed with legal jargon, fake authority, and the kind of boldness that can only come from not knowing who you're dealing with. The reveal. Lila didn't respond with anger. She responded with documents. The next morning, we walked into the HOA office with her real estate attorney and a folder full of contracts, deeds, and financial records. Lila handed Karen a highlighted page from the development contract. "You might want to read the name on the land title," she said calmly. Karen blinked at the paper. "Lila, Whitmore Realty Group?" "Yes," Lila replied. "I founded it. I financed this entire neighborhood. You're sitting in a building I technically own. I let the HOA lease it for free." Silence. Then our attorney added, "Per the developer's rights, any attempts to evict a titled stakeholder or their immediate family without board consensus and cause will result in a breach of contract and possible dissolution of the HOA's authority." Karen turned pale. One of the other board members looked like he was ready to bolt. The fallout. The eviction notice was revoked immediately. Actually, it was shredded on the spot by one of the suddenly cooperative board members. But Lila wasn't done. She reviewed the HOA's recent spending reports, board minutes, and enforcement records. What she found was a pattern of arbitrary fines, selective rule enforcement, and shady budget allocations. She called a special meeting, which, by the power of her ownership, she had every right to do. During that meeting, she dissolved the current board, froze the HOA's discretionary budget, and announced an audit. Karen, removed permanently from any leadership position and barred from future committee appointments. Final thoughts. It's funny how people assume quiet women are weak. Karen thought she could bully my wife out of her own home. What she didn't realize was, she tried to evict the woman who built the entire development from scratch. Next time you pick a fight, make sure you're not standing on the other person's land, literally.